In today's session, that is next part of structure of atom, we will study dual nature of matter and radiation. Now there was a scientist called de Broglie. He gave an equation, and according to that concept, all the material particles like electron, proton or any other microscopic particle has dual character, that is wave character as well as particle character. In case of photon, it is assumed that it will have wave character and its energy will be given by E is equal to h nu from Planck's quantum theory. If the photon is supposed to have particle character, then the energy is given by E is equal to mc square, and this is given from Einstein equation. If we equate these two equations, that is E is equal to h nu and E is equal to mc square, then we will get h nu is equal to mc square, and we also know that C is equal to nu lambda. So, nu will be equal to C by lambda. Substituting the value in this equation, h C by lambda is equal to mc square, 1 C will cancel out. So, lambda will be equal to h by mc, where h is the Planck's constant, m is the mass of the particle, c is the velocity, and m into c is also called momentum and denoted by p. So, the formula lambda is equal to h by p, where h is the complete this equation is known as de Broglie's equation, and lambda is known as de Broglie's wavelength. Now, significance of de Broglie's equation. Now, if we take a ball of mass 0.1 kg and has speed 60 meters per second, if we substitute this value in the de Broglie's equation, lambda is equal to h by mv, then we will get the value that is 10 into 10 to the power minus 34. Now, this wavelength is so small that we cannot absorb or we cannot see in normal condition. Ordinary observation, you cannot see it. For electron, again de Broglie's wavelength, m mass is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31. H is the constant, value is fixed, and velocity again we have taken the same, that is 60 meters per second, and the value comes out 10 to the power minus 5 meters. Now, if you compare from a ball and from an electron, you can see that in the case of ball you cannot measure the wavelength, it is very small, but in the case of electron it can be observed. So, it is only significant to microscopic particles. Now, numerical NCERT 2.20 unsolved question. Calculate the wavelength of an electron moving with velocity of 2.05 into 10 to the power 7 meters per second. So, lambda is equal to h by m into v. Somewhere it is given c, so no problem. This is equal to value of h 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Electron of mass is not given to you, mass of electron is not given to you. So, this is value, again you should know it, or you may get in the question. 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 is the mass of an electron, and velocity is given in the question 2.05 into 10 to the power 7. So, after calculating we will get 3.55 into 10 to the power minus 11 meters. Second question related to the same formula, again it is unsolved question from your exercise. 2.21, the mass of an electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. If its kinetic energy is 3 into 10 power minus 5 joules, calculate its wavelength. Now kinetic energy is given to us, so we have to first calculate velocity. So we can calculate velocity by the formula kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, or v will be equal to under root 2 into kinetic energy by m. This is equal to under root 2 into 3 into 10 power minus 25 divided by 9.1 into 10 power minus 31. So this is equal to 812 meters per second. So this value of V can be substituted in the formula lambda is equal to h by m into V. So 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 divided by 9.1 into 10 power, should be 31. 9.1 into 10 minus 31 into 812. So value comes out 8.967 10 power minus 7 meters. If it is not asked, you can leave the answer in meters only, but if it is asked to change in angstrom, then you have to change it. So it will be multiplied by 10 power minus divided by 10 power minus 10. So it will become 8967 angstrom. Now, derivation of Bohr's postulate of angular momentum from de Broglie's equation. Now, according to the concept, electron behaves not only as particle but also as a wave according to de Broglie's equation. And when wave is in the phase, the circumference 2 pi r is equal to integral multiple of wavelength and lambda. Now lambda is equal to h by mv, already we know it. So substitute the value of lambda in this equation 1, we will get 2 pi r is equal to n h by m into v. So here this r will be shifted here, the mv shifted here, so mvr is equal to nh upon 2 pi. So this is mvr is angular momentum. So angular momentum is equal to nh, it is the integral multiple of h upon 2 pi, 1 2 3 and maybe 2 1 2 3 4. Now the next concept which Bohr's model of atom was not explained was Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Now this principle states that it is impossible to measure simultaneously the position and the momentum of a small particle, that is microscopic particle, with accuracy or certainty. It means that if you want to measure the position of electron, then momentum will change, or if the momentum you are going to measure, then position will change. So with accuracy you cannot measure both of them, position and momentum simultaneously. Mathematically it is represented by delta x into delta p is equal to h by 4 pi, where delta x is uncertainty in position, uncertainty in position, delta p is uncertainty in momentum. So just like de Broglie's concept, this is, that is Heisenberg uncertainty principle, is also applicable to microscopic particles only. Now next is why electron cannot exist into the nucleus. Very important question, many times it is asked. Why electrons? Now electron does not have its own energy. You have studied in Bohr's model of atom. It has the energy of the shell. Now it means that when the electron is outside the atom, then it has energy 0, and when it is attracted towards the nucleus, it has to spend its own energy. Now the diameter of the nucleus is of the order of 10 to the power minus 15, and if the electron has to exist within the nucleus, the maximum uncertainty should be 10 to the power minus 15. But when we calculate by putting the values in this Heisenberg mathematical expression, then the value comes out 5.77 into 10 to the power 10 meters per second. In value so much high that the velocity of the light, velocity of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8. Hence it is not possible to keep the electron in the nucleus. Value all of you know, mass 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31, velocity that just now we have calculated, x is, that is 10 to the power minus 15. Now numericals based on Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Again, this is unsolved question from your exercise 2.61. If the position of the electron is measured within an accuracy of plus minus 0.002 nanometer, calculate the uncertainty in the momentum of electron. Suppose the momentum of the electron is h by 4 pi into 10 to the power into 0.05 nanometer. Is there any problem in defining this value? So uncertainty in position is given to you 0.002 nanometer. So that is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 nanometer, and if we will multiply, so 10 to the power minus 9, so it will become 10 to the power minus 12. Here again that is multiplied by 10 to the power minus 9, then we will get the value in meters. So delta x into delta p is equal to h by 4 pi. Delta p will be equal to h upon 4 pi into delta x. Substituting the value of h, x and pi, we will get 2.638 into 10 to the power minus 33 kg meters per second. And in the question, the actual momentum is given to you is h by 4 pi into 0.05 nanometer, and when we calculate this value, it comes out 1.055 into 10 to the power minus 30. It cannot be defined as the actual magnitude of the momentum is very, very low. Now atomic orbitals. This I will discuss in detail. First only you here I am telling you the definition. According to Bohr's model, you have studied that the electrons revolve around the nucleus in the particular shell. So those shells are called orbits. Then orbits are divided into subshells, and the subshells are again divided into orbitals. Orbits, that is shell, subshell and orbitals. So shells, they are orbit, they are designated as K, L, M, N. again we will discuss for it. And orbitals, they are s, p, d, f. Now what is atomic orbital? It is defined as three-dimensional space around the nucleus within which the probability of finding electron is maximum. Probability of मतलब जहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉन के पाए जाने की संभावना सबसे अधिक होती है उसी को हम एटॉमिक ऑर्बिटल कहते हैं। हमारे दिमाग में ये रहता है कि न्यूक्लियस के चारों तरफ एक ऐसे पूरा गोला बना दें तो बस इलेक्ट्रॉन उसी के अंदर घूमते हैं। ऐसा कोई फिक्स गोला नहीं होता है, खाली जहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉन डेंसिटी सबसे ज़्यादा पाई जाती है वहाँ मानते हैं कि हाँ वहीं पे वो ऑर्बिट है जिसके अंदर इलेक्ट्रॉन घूम रहे हैं। तो एटॉमिक ऑर्बिटल क्या है कि वो जगह जहाँ पर इलेक्ट्रॉन सबसे ज़्यादा पाया जाए। इसी के साथ हम एक और चीज़ बता दें, नोड्स, ठीक उल्टा, जहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉन के पाने जाने की प्रोबेबिलिटी ज़ीरो होती है उसे नोड्स कहते हैं। डोंट वरी, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक we'll discuss the shape of orbitals, then I will deal in detail. Now second, the atomic orbital, it represents the three-dimensional motion of an electron around the nucleus, मतलब x, y, z axis where the electron is present, that can be given by the atomic orbitals. Atomic orbitals has different shapes, that is S has spherical shape, P has dumbbell shaped, D has doubled shape, and up till now the F or shape of the f orbital is not described. All the orbitals except s orbital has directional characteristics. Since s orbital is spherical in nature, so it is non-direction, and others are directional. They are present in x, y, z axis. And the maximum number of electrons in any orbital is 2. Now it cannot accommodate more than 2. I will explain you afterwards. Then comes the atomic orbit. Actually this topic I should have taken before atomic orbital. Now atomic orbit is a well defined circular path around the nucleus in which electron revolves, and you can say that is they are named as 1, 2, 3, 4 or K, L, M, N. It only represents the planar motion of an electron around the nucleus. Wherever you have just now you studied ki orbital three-dimensional motion, whereas orbit only planar motion of an electron around the nucleus. And all the orbitals, they are assumed that they are circular in nature, and orbits do not tell us about any directional characteristics. And last, that is maximum number of electrons in orbit is given by 2n square. Now n is the number of shell. So shells you have just now written, there is K, L, M, N. K is known as, that is first shell, L second shell, M third shell, and N fourth shell. Likewise more shells are also present, 5, 6, 7. So if we will find out, so 2 into 1 square 2, so K shell can accommodate only 2 electrons, L 2 into 2 square 8, M 2 into 3 square 18, N 2 into 4 square 32. Now in today's session we have studied about the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, de Broglie's equation, their significance, numericals based on it, and what is atomic orbital and orbit.